All right, so we have another encounter with Ljubojević here.
Yeah,
He played with
our
white.
good friend Ljubojević, yes. I mean, all our
yes.
games were like this. I mean, when he won was also in this manner. I mean, very tactical, very sharp, and so on. And here we have a very good example. We played this game at the Interzonal in Brazil, in Petropolis, in 1973. And it was very important because I tried to demonstrate with black, knowing that he'll play this variation in our encounter. I had the chance to try to show everybody that the line recommended by Tal was not so good as it seemed, you know.
So he played a line which was recommended by Tal?
By Tal, yes. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Okay, knight f6, trickster rouser again.
You proved that it wasn't actually a good line?
No, it seemed to be a very good one. It was recommended because Tal won a lot of games with this line for white, you know. And everybody followed, you know, because everybody, was thinking if Tal plays like this, of course, the game must be very good for white, you know.
But they were not Tal.
Yeah, so knight c6, queen d2, e6, castle. Okay, bishop d7, f4. Well, until now, as you remember, is almost the same line that we played later on, a few years later, in Manila in 76. We showed already the game. And now the move is b5. And now, after b5, black has the idea to play very quickly on the queen side. And this move, bishop takes b5, which is very provocative, it seems to be very good. It was introduced by Tal himself, as I told you before. You know, white sacrifices a piece, and he hopes to take 3 pawns for the piece. If he has time to take 3 pawns, it's okay for white. So the main idea after knight takes b5, everybody against Tal played here in this position queen b8. And after queen b8, knight takes d6 check, you trade 2 pieces in d6, bishop takes, queen takes, queen takes, and rook takes d6. And as you can see now, black has a piece up for 3 pawns. 3 pawns is very much, you know. So finally, if you arrive later on in some kind of endgame, white is always a little bit better, you know. 3 pawns in such a position are stronger than a knight, you know, because the 3 pawns connected are very dangerous. If he can advance a little bit the pawns, white has always a better game.
You mean these pawns from here? They can queen.
Yeah, A, B, and C. Yes, of course, 3 pawns, you know, already too much.
Yeah.
But the problem is that black, accepts the sacrifice, of course, and after knight takes b5, you don't play queen b8. We play this move, knight b4. This was my home analysis, and it was very big surprise for Ljubojević and for everybody else, because you try to demonstrate that the analysis from Tal are not good, that black is better in all positions, and it seems to be so, you know, because he has to take in d6. If he doesn't take in d6, he doesn't capture the third pawn, and black is always better. He didn't take the third pawn. He took only 2.
Yes.
And not only this, but black had the initiative. Now again he took in d6, and after knight takes a2 check, he's forced to take, and now he's almost mate, because we have already the threat rook a1 check, and when you go to d2, you have an extra check in e4, and it's finished, you know, for white, if you don't pay attention.
Yeah.
So now he played king b1. Here I could play also queen a8, but I played safe, rook a7. Okay, now you will see the result of the opening. Now if you play e5, which is the normal move, after queen a8, we threaten mate in e2, in a1, and therefore white is lost. So you don't have time to do something. So he tries to demonstrate that, you know, he has some tactical chance, and he took in f6. He gives you the chance to go wrong. You take, and now rook d3. Rook d3 is very funny move, because now after queen a8, you know, b3, that was the last hope from white. He gives you the chance to try to win immediately. I mean, and now you win a rook, but this is draw. Why? Because he takes in d7 check, goes to f8, queen d6 back with check, and now you don't have time to go to g7 because of rook g3 check, and if you are not careful, you can be mated, If not, it's draw by force, Now he gives you, perpetual h3 g3, h3 g3, draw, So you have still to be careful with black, You don't win immediately. So after b3, queen a8, b3. Now you have to find a move. And the good move is bishop b5. Everything now is forced. We attacked the rook. c4 was much too risky because the king was very bad. You could get mated, if you play c4. So he could play back also in d1. And now after bishop c6, we want to take you the pawn from e4. Yeah, rook e1, and we have time now to take the pawn. Now, if you take with the bishop if you take the bishop from e4 with the rook, you don't have time because now you give check. You have to go to b2, and we have time to take in d1, and we want the rook. You have to go back, and now we take in e4. And you have extra rook, and we win. You see, that was the big difference. And therefore, we have time to play the whole game with the extra piece from e4. So now queen d4, we go back with the bishop. Now if you take the pawn from f6, we have time to castle. And if you castle, the game is finished, So the last resource, g4, he tries g4, h4, like this. Okay, so now e5, very strong move. So now you have to take. Now is no danger for the bishop, to be blocked after the move f5. Now the bishop is completely open. And now we have time to move the rook. And we attack immediately in c2. Now the game is finished. We win in all variations. Everything is forced. The attack is much too strong. And the continuation is, more or less forced. e6, okay, he took in f6, and now we took in c2. The only hope for white is now to try to give a perpetual, but he has no time. So now we take with the rook, we threaten mate in 1, in a2. So he takes in e6 with check, now the only move, and bishop f7. Now he has to sacrifice the queen, because if he doesn't sacrifice the queen, it's mate in 1, in a2. So, okay, he gives in the queen, he took, but this is, elementary win for black. But you have to show how, he played until the end. But the game is completely winning now, okay. Okay, and we attack both, h4 and b3. Okay, he has to put the rook there. He loses the pawn from b3, and the rest is very easy. And now h6, and now you come with the king. You come with the king to h5, and we threaten to come to an endgame, giving the queen, and then king g3, and we queen the h pawn. Okay, and I think he resigned here, no?
He resigned.
Yeah. It's very clear. The game is very clear. Yeah, queen against rook is elementary, Yeah. But the game is very important theoretically, because we could demonstrate that Tal's analysis was wrong, that is very rare,
Or maybe it was
good for such a level,
It was good for his style.
For his style, of course, yes.
Yeah.
No, and therefore was possible because everybody followed afterward. All the leading grandmasters played the same.
Yes.
Because they were thinking, if Tal plays like this, the
That's
game
the
must
best
be
way.
all right for white, of course. They had face, if Tal, the world champion, plays like this, of course, we have to follow.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the case. The game was not good for white. White is in big danger in this line. And not only this, but a few years afterwards, nobody played anymore this line for white, of course. They saw the game, and they understood that black had a better position and winning chances.
You prove it on the table.
Yes, of course. Yes. It can happen, of course. It can happen. Therefore, the game was very interesting, without computers, because that was home analysis for humans, not computer,
More interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you,
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Gheorghiu.
You're